Good evening. The Town of Cromwell Planning and Zoning Special Meeting of Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. I'm calling to order. Alice Kelly, Chair.
Mike Canada.
Andrew Holt.
John Comtois, alternate.
Ann Grasso.
Nick Dimitriadis.
Doug Kalinowski.
Okay, at this time, also, I'd like to have a motion to see the alternate, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we also have with us our Bruce Drisca, our zoning enforcement officer, Andrew Armstrong, our town planner, and Linda Emmy, our clerk. And in the way in the back is the mayor. Anybody else? Okay, moving on. We see approval of the agenda. Is there any, we can't make any changes to the agenda because it's a special meeting. I'm asking for a motion to approve as presented.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, we can call for public comments, except on anything of the public hearings that will be done under the public hearings. Is there anyone here that would like to say anything to the commission? Okay.
Madam Chair, I know you indicated prior to the meeting that you had some questions for me. Do you want me to address them now during public comments or later?
No, later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Moving on. Mr. Drisca?
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. If you have any questions regarding the compliance officer report in your packet, this is the time to bring them up, and I would be glad to address them and answer any other questions that you may have.
Does anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Drisca, our zoning enforcement officer? Okay.
Any questions about the development that's already been approved that you'd like to ask about, that you don't already recognize, like the Popeyes, which is in a stalled state of completion?
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, what happened?
What's going on with that?
Poor Michael Canada was sitting at the drive-in window for about 3 hours before I told him it's
Yeah,
not,
I mean, starving.
it's not open.
I was clawing at the glass. I was leaving marks.
I hope we don't have to pay for that.
Yeah, I've asked the same question to the developer, and they're finishing up in a nearby town, they're finishing up another project that they thought would be done by the end of the last year, and it's dragged out. So as soon as they finish that, they're gonna come over and then finish up a few minor things on the outside, and then look for a CO.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Town planner Armstrong?
Yeah, so I have two things tonight. One of them I'm going to be introducing to you tonight. That is the commissioner training requirements. And it's going to be a standing communication item where I'm going to probably remind you once a month. As planning and zoning commissioners, you're required to do 4 hours of training, and that is good for 2 years, 1 hour of which has to be on fair housing policies for fair housing and affordable housing. So I will coordinate with you on that. I will provide the resources. I may hold a portion of the training myself, and then either you could go to a state training or do online videos that are qualified for this requirement. So I'll continue to remind you. I will get that information to you, but I want you all to have in mind that by the end of the year, you do need 4 hours. And that ends on December 31st this year. In March, I will have to send a letter to the state stating that we are in compliance. So that's where the reminding comes in. I have to send this letter. I want to make sure that we're compliant. So I'll continuously remind you to make sure that we meet that.
Do you have the record? Because I know I went to UConn down in Haddam. I just don't remember how long ago it was.
Okay, yeah, if you did that should qualify.
Yeah, I just don't know.
And
sure
if
I'd
you
have the
did
certificate
it
somewhere.
last year, you'd be good for 2 years, so.
Yeah.
And I think you get a certificate, some
Yeah,
kind
I'd have
of-
to find it.
Okay, good, so yeah, you may be covered under
Alright,
that,
I'll
and
try
we
to
could
find
talk about that.
Got a
This-
question.
yeah.
For Andy. So on that 4 hours per 2 years, I thought I read when they initiated that regulation, if you want to call it that there was the ability of a town to waive it if they chose.
I do not know about that. I'll look at it, I'll take a second look.
Yeah, if you could check, because I was pretty certain that there was the ability to waive I'm not sure if it's by the town council, or if it's by this group, or who waives it, but I
Okay.
thought there was something in there, the ability to waive.
Okay, I wasn't aware. I'll look into that, and
Thank you.
it's possible they changed it afterward, but,
Yep.
if that is the case, then, we could vote to opt out if you guys choose to. But I would still like to probably do some type of training with everybody. Maybe just a group setting, with
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, and I think that's great, but I tried doing the Zoom thing to something that they had down at the, Extension Center, and it ended poorly, we'll leave it at that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it, it wasn't the connection, it was the actual material?
No, it wasn't the material, it was the connection, it
Okay.
kept going in and out, and it was a mess.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I spent more time trying to get it to work than I spent listening to exactly what was going on. So I
That's a
gave
shame.
up on it.
Yeah, they do a good job, but, with the connection issues, that's,
Yeah, and they didn't,
Tough.
at the time, they didn't have the ability to attend in person. It was all Zoom, or you either Zoomed it or you didn't do it.
okay.
So that was the other I personally would rather go there, get the materials, pick up the packet, get the nice little binder with all the stuff in it.
That's where I went down and, I think it was Haddam or
Haddam,
something.
Yeah, they
Haddam
have it now.
Extension.
Yeah, the
Right.
Yukon campus there.
Right,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, they do it in person now.
So it's back to in person?
Yeah, I think that was last year I went.
Okay.
And if that's something you're interested in, let me know, because, we have some budget, and, that's something we can do if you're, adamant about it.
Right, and Jennifer has sent out notices that these things are coming up. So-
Wonderful.
I would definitely do it in person. I'm not real fond of doing the whole Zoom
It's
meeting
usually
thing.
on a Saturday.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Okay, yep.
Can I just speak real quickly in behalf of Zoom?
The benefits, yes.
My experience has not been the same, but that may have been COVID, because some of that was really tough during
That was
COVID.
2 years ago.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, my experience with the Zoom has been very positive. Take notes, and you're right, you don't get all the paperwork,
Right.
which is a problem. And if that's possible to get the paperwork by people who have the time to spend traveling, that would be helpful. The other thing I wanted to mention is, years ago, the staff kept account of the hours, and that is no longer happening, and I was wondering if that could, what are you, taking our word for the fact that we?
So I will have to keep track to make sure that everyone meets 4 hours and the 1 hour of affordable housing. So the way that I would do it is, if you're doing a course that has a certification, some form of, memorializing your attendance, that would be great. If not, what I would ask is, there are certain videos or something online that do qualify. And what we would do is, I would probably just have you write an email. I attended this, and it's your word, and it's in writing. So in that way, I'm holding you to your word and what you said you did. And
No, I think
I
that's
think that would be
good.
an effective
I
way.
just think the last year or two, that hasn't happened, even though we've gone ahead and, done the programming. It's sort of like, okay, we did it, but we didn't tell anybody, so, yeah.
And if you have any record that might qualify, and you want to, send that my way, and I'll take a look at it. You're welcome. Second thing is, this commission actually, I don't know if a lot of you realize this, but the Planning and Zoning Commission also serves as the Aquifer Protection Agency. There is a aquifer protection overlay in the northeast corner of town. And it is on the zoning map. That is a state requirement to be on the zoning map. And we are gonna have to hold our first meeting actually in short order. Bruce and I were just on a call with Deep today. And we are shooting for February 17th, which is not the next P and Z meeting, but the following. Typically, I like to have these meetings at the end of a meeting. So at the end of the meeting, you put your aquifer protection hat on and you become the APA. In this particular case, we're gonna have a special permit for the subject property at P and Z. So what I would like to do is hold that meeting before our regular P and Z at 7, so maybe 6:30, if everyone could do that. The reason for that is because I don't want to have a pending special permit, or I don't want to, have a pending special permit without the aquifer being acted on first, in case it were to influence it in any way. APA really should come first procedurally. So, just wanted you to all to be aware of that you are the APA and we will have to hold a meeting.
But even though, Andrew, I just had this question is, even though we're here for planning and zoning, and then we have this other aquifer, do we not have to have a meeting that just says Aquifer Commission or whatever it is? And then we would close that down and then go into planning and zoning?
Yeah, exactly. It
So
will
we have
be
to
a
have two
separate.
separate meetings.
Exactly. And so this board is the Aquifer Protection Agency, but
Right.
it'll be a separate agenda, separate minutes, all of those type of things.
And I would, at this
Do you
time,
have these?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just interestingly enough, I was looking at our 1990 zoning regulations today. We actually had aquifer protection zone built into our zoning regulations at that time, which was a full 15 years before it was implemented with the state. I thought that was really
Right.
remarkable. So it has been around for a while, but we've got to bring it back and make it more formal.
and at this time, I think, Andrew, would anybody have a problem coming to a meeting at 6 o'clock
Or
for the aquifer?
6:30, I think, would probably work if that's okay.
Are you sure? Because we could meet at 6 and then have our meeting at 7 in case it gets longer. That's all I'm saying.
Do you have any input?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Madam Chair. I think 6:30 would work, and in the event that we went over, it's still okay to start the P and Z meeting a little bit late.
But,
Not early, but late.
right, but also I'm really trying to say to the commission that, is there anyone that would want us also to change our regular meeting from 7 to a little bit earlier? I mean,
You mean on a regular basis?
on a regular basis. We did that for the Water Pollution Control Authority because our person had to stay here until 7 and they get off at 4.
I am not sure that we can do that. I just talked with the clerk recently about changing meeting times of regular meetings, and I don't believe it can be done. They would all have to be canceled in special meetings is what
Okay.
is the information that I
I
got.
think that you can, well, okay, whatever.
So we may not be able to technically do that, but I do think that Bruce's suggestion would work well with the 6:30.
Well, right, and this isn't, we have not had a meeting, so we could set up our new meetings, because that would not interfere with anything else, because we haven't had a meeting in years. So this is a brand-new, old commission, and now we're setting the time, the date, and things like that, so we would be able to have it at whatever time.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I believe for APA, they're all special meetings.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Just as a point of information, the content of the meetings, it's gonna be, for the most part, Andrew can chime in on this. I think we discussed, it's gonna be very minimal, because there's only one entity in town that has to be registered and approved. So it's not like you're going to
No, I
have
know. Yeah.
multiple applications on a monthly or quarterly basis.
Right.
So it'll be a one and done.
Right, so nobody has any problem coming for a meeting at 6:30 then, with your
I'll be here.
schedules?
I'll be here.
Okay, then that's fine, I think
Great.
that helps you there.
So we'll anticipate taking in a new registration for this use, and they have to get a renewal every 5 years. Once you are in the registration, you become grandfathered in. You continue to do a renewal and provide a materials management plan, which shows how you're going to take care of, any fluids or anything that would leak into the ground. Any new construction within the aquifer protection zone would also come before this board for a registration, and that's a pretty black and white action. It's based off a list of uses, so it will be rare that we have a meeting, but it's come up.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
None for the director's report, no.
Okay. Anything for you, Bruce? Okay, moving on. Mr. Armstrong, the new business?
Yeah, so for application 2536, this was Clink at Stop and Shop. They have the recycling program, and they have indicated, they've sent us an email that they're going to withdraw this. They did not want to move forward at this time. They're looking at 2027 at coming back, so they would like to just withdraw this application.
Good.
Okay. We need a motion to, no, we never said it, so that's fine. Okay, any new business?
None for me.
Okay, then public hearings?
And I just want to state with the public hearings, we're withdrawing the application 2525, which is the town's application for amendments to the zoning regulations tonight. So if anybody out there is waiting for that application, you can go ahead and go home. It will be resubmitted at a later date.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, do we want to read off the public hearings, or?
Right. Well, some are being continued. The new application, Nicholas, would you please read the public notice?
Town of Cromwell Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing during a special meeting on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall chambers of the Cromwell Town Hall at 41 West Street on the following items. 1. Application number 25-33. Application for a special permit under sections 5.1.A, 6.6, and 5.1.A7 of the zoning regulations of the Town of Cromwell to allow for garage facilities in excess of 1,000 square feet at 5 Winthrop Boulevard. The owner and applicant are Anita and Andrzej Mazalek. Number 2, application number 25-35, application for a special permit under section 5.6.A of the zoning regulations of the Town of Cromwell to allow for crushing operations at 150 Sabethy Drive. The applicant is Galito Construction, LLC. The owner is Randa, LLC. At this hearing, interested parties may appear and be heard, and written testimony received. The applications are available for public inspection in the Office of Planning and Development. Alice Kelly, chairperson, dated in Cromwell, Connecticut, this the 6th day of January 2026.
Thank you.
So, application 2533, 5 Winthrop Boulevard, do we have the applicants here, or? Okay.
Okay, we need to open up the public hearing.
Yep, so I'll make a motion to open the public hearing of application 2533.
Second, please? Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Would you like me to do an overview first, or first, Jeff? Should I do an overview first?
We don't have any.
All right, hello everyone. We would like to request approval for,
You want to speak, is the microphone on?
should be,
Okay.
You may want to just take the
Hold it up
microphone
in
right
your
up,
hand.
hold it up close,
Thank you very
otherwise we
much.
won't hear you.
okay.
Like that.
Okay, so we will request approval of additional 3-car garage in the back of our yard for our classic cars that we would like to store there. The structure will be only for storage. It's not gonna be like in and out daily. It's gonna be used very, very rarely. And regarding the runoff from rain, and it's all been presented.
Yeah, so we have presented all the drainage.
Here, you want to pass the microphone, please?
Yeah, so we have submitted all the drainage solution that were done by engineer. We have notified all the neighbors. We think there's not gonna be any negative impact on the neighborhood properties. Like my husband said, the cars are, stored there for long term. They're gonna be drive very infrequently, so there's not gonna be any noise or negative impact. I think the structure of the building will conform to, our main property, when it comes to appearance and aesthetics. Landscaping will be done nicely around it, so, yeah, I think everyone already has like all the plans and information, so at this point, we're just looking for, I guess, positive consideration.
This is dated once.
Okay. Here's 12. Okay, Mr. Town Planner, do you have any comments?
Sure, yeah, from staff's perspective, there's no concerns with this. Everything was addressed. In the last round, the town engineer and Bruce both asked for some drainage improvements, and they've provided that. As you see in John Harriman's latest memo, he's okay with that. And so, no concerns from us. I would recommend an approval.
And for this, did they have to put the notice to the abutters?
They should have because it's a public hearing, yeah.
So do you have the
Yes.
the documents?
Yep.
Okay, want to bring it up to the town planner, please? This?
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, anybody, members of the commission, before I open it to the public, do you have any comments or anything?
I have none.
Okay. And I believe, as you said, Mr. Armstrong, that you looked it over and all of the
All
concerns.
staff is okay with it.
Yes.
Is okay with it?
Yes, that's right.
Certainly, yes.
You said it's going to conform to the neighborhood standards as far as appearance. Can you just kind of describe what it's gonna look like?
It's just gonna be a three-car garage in a right side of our backyard. Because right,
We usually get a
Vinyl
rendering.
siding.
yes, it's gonna match our house, same roofing,
This is
same
pretty much-
siding, so there's not gonna be like different colors.
Yeah,
The
but we
old
don't know
height
what it's
li-
gonna look like.
I think it's, yeah, it's one story, I think it's 19
This is all that
feet,
we have,
yeah.
right. But we didn't get a rendering of what it's gonna look like.
I don't believe we did, no.
And there's no driveway going
No.
in, so
No,
it's not gonna be used very much then. That's all, thank you.
How many doors are gonna be on the
3,
3?
yep.
And again, what is this going to be used for?
So at this point, I have 3 classic cars that are parked outside.
Oh,
I just
okay.
want to store them inside.
Right now,
So-
they're in the back of our driver, so the appearance is not looking nice in our property. We would like to, prevent vandalism, breach, and all of that,
Right. So it will kind of like match your house?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what color would be like siding and
So
things?
we have a white siding, gray roofing, the door will be probably white or black, so it will conform to the appearance of our
Okay.
house, so, yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions or anything?
I do not. Everybody good?
Okay, wait a minute, we have to ask the public. Anybody here that wishes in the public to come forward? Yeah, then you have to
Seeing
close
none,
it.
okay, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
And next, I'll make a motion to approve application 2533 as presented.
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Congratulations,
Congratulations,
good luck.
build your garage.
Thank you
Stop
so
by-
much.
You gotta stop by Scott Lane so I can see him.
They need to file.
Hold on for a moment, please.
So you can take the public hearing sign down from your property, and also importantly, you'll get an approval letter from our office for the special permit, and that has to be filed with the town clerk. It doesn't become effective until you do, so just make sure you file that with the clerk's office. Congratulations.
Okay, moving on. Hold on, I lost Okay, Andrew?
Sure. So, application 2535, do I read this on?
Right.
Application for a special permit under section 5.6A of the zoning regulations of the town of Cromwell to allow for crushing operations at 150 Sabethy Drive. The applicant is Galito Construction LLC. The owner is Rhonda LLC. So I've been working with the applicant on this. They are revising their plan. Their surveyor is on vacation, so they couldn't get a stamp and seal and a couple of changes that we've requested. I've asked for an updated narrative. I believe that you should have that in your packet, and it is much more detailed than what we had previously, and pretty thoroughly describes their operation. The applicant is not here tonight with the understanding that we will continue this to February 17th meeting in order to get the plans, have comments.
And he has sent you an email stating that.
Correct, yes.
So you'd like me to open the public hearing and then make a motion to continue? Or
Yes.
not open?
Oh, not open it, and just open it on the 7th, no.
No,
We open
not
it
open.
tonight and then
Open it
continue.
tonight?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'll make a motion to open public hearing for application 2535, special permit for Galito Construction.
Second.
Second, okay.
All those in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, and now I'll make a motion to continue application 2535
To February 17th.
to our next meeting,
No,
Oh,
February 17th.
17th, yeah.
to February 17th. Thank you.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Andrew?
Application 2529, application for a special permit under section 4.3N of the zoning regulations of the town of Cromwell to construct a commercial self-storage facility at 6 Piney Ridge Road. The applicant and the owner is DFC of Cromwell LLC.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Jim Cassidy, professional engineer and principal with the firm of Halsey.
We need a motion to open.
Continued public hearing.
Yeah, let me make a motion to reopen the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, your turn.
My turn, thanks. Good evening. For the record, my name is Jim Cassidy, professional engineer and principal with the firm of Halsey, Pearson Cassidy, located at 630 Main Street here in Cromwell, Connecticut. Here tonight, representing DFC of Cromwell LLC for a special permit for the development of a self-storage building on property at 6 Piney Ridge. First order of business, we did update the sign. I have my sign affidavit, so it has been updated within 14 days. I'll hand that to Andrew later to kind of
Yeah.
continue on. So we were before you last month, and we presented our application for the development of this 2,400 square foot self-storage facility. First thing I'd ask is, I do have it in a digital format. Do you want me to put it on your screen, or do you just, at the last meeting, we gave our full presentation. We were just waiting back for a legal opinion on this. We had addressed all staff comments at that point, and otherwise, I think we were in pretty good shape. So in an effort of saving the commission some time, I'd ask, do you want me to put it on the screen, or are you okay without it?
I mean, we all have this handout.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I was going to bring up. As part of the review, it did come to our attention that under your self-storage regulations, there is a height limitation on self-storage buildings of 20 feet. Originally, the building was about 24 feet by your definitions, where you measure from the ridge to the eave and take the mean. So we did have to revise the roof line of the structure to bring it down to 23 feet, 8 inches to the peak, and then 16 to the eave for an average. At this point, it's 19 feet, 10 inches, so it's under the 20-foot threshold. In addition to, Ms. Grasso had mentioned she wanted the dormers repositioned, so they're a little more evenly spaced, which we have updated on the plans also. So that is the only substantive change that's occurred since our last meeting. And again, all we were waiting the last time was for a legal opinion. I don't want to bore you with the whole presentation again unless the commission really would like it.
Okay, does any of the commission members have any comments or anything?
Can I ask what the legal opinion was?
Yeah, so, I guess as a point of information, Jim alluded to it, Mr. Cassidy, that there was some question about an overlay. This district, the digital billboard district, is an actual zone. It is not an overlay. So there is non-conforming uses on site, the residences that are there, but just as a point of information for everyone, it's not an overlay, it never was an overlay. It's an actual zone. And that's how it was applied for, presented. There's no defective notices or anything for this application. It was noticed properly. But so everyone knows going forward, there is no overlay.
And additionally, within this zone, we had a vote and we allowed for self-storage. So everything complies.
Yep. So there's two principal uses allowed in this zone, the digital billboards and the self-storage. This regulation went into, or this zone went into effect in 2020. It was amended for the self-storage and never was an overlay. So that's what I found out.
And,
So,
Town planner, it means that all of the property there is the billboard, all 12 acres or whatever it is a commercial zone,
It's a commercial billboard zone, yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay,
Or district, CBD, I believe it is.
okay, thank, anybody else have any?
yeah, so I don't recall, we added the garage storage when we passed that regulation? I thought it was just the digital billboard zone. when we
So
passed it.
they created the zone in 2020, sometime afterward, I want to say it may have been 2024, they came in with an amendment to allow for a
add
second
storage.
use
Yeah, about
for
a
the
year ago.
self-storage.
Yeah, that's why I don't recall that, that's,
I don't
Yeah.
know if you were at that meeting or not,
Maybe
but I do remember the
oh, because I would have voted against it, that's why, so.
Yeah, I went back and did the
No.
research, I found, each step of the way of how
Yeah.
this all
And this is
evolved.
behind the residential property, correct?
Yeah, mm-hmm,
Yes, it is,
How
actually.
fortunate,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah, but
okay.
that's how it is. So anybody else have any comments? If not,
I don't have any questions.
okay, any questions, or anybody here from the public that wishes to come before the commission on this public hearing? Not?
All right, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for application 2529.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I'm not in favor, you have to
Well-
ask all three questions, right? Favor, opposed, and abstained?
Yeah,
closing the
but
public
we, no,
Oh,
not for
okay.
closing
No,
the
this is
public
for
hearing.
I just wanna make sure we didn't vote yet.
Well, no, it hasn't come, he
Sometimes
hasn't,
we do.
he,
Okay.
no, he hasn't made a motion.
This is
To
just the
approve.
motion
Just-
to close the public hearing.
Just checking.
Yep. Okay, anybody have any
We
comments?
jump over things.
No.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve application 2529 as presented.
Second on that, please?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, please raise your hands. Okay. Any opposed? Okay. Okay. So the motion is carried.
Motion passes.
Passes. Well, carried,
Passes.
Right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, and don't forget to file your special permit approval letter.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
happy for the people who live around you.
And take down this public hearing sign, please. Thank you.
Okay. And then I think that, I think you already spoke on 2525?
Yeah, so,
We withdrew that. That's-
yeah, application 2525, maybe Alice, you want to say a few words, but it was just kind of too much too quickly, and I'm just coming in, myself, so I haven't had time to digest these changes and evaluate them. So I do believe that we're going to come back and resubmit in some form. In my mind, I believe that we have some of these that can be kind of extracted and, they're Scrivener's errors, they're true errors that we could fix right up front. Other things we may want to evaluate in a second application and weigh whether or not we want to kind of add or modify our regulations. But, there's certain things that are errors, like for one, the commercial billboard district that says overlay, it's not an overlay. That's a technical error that we need to change. So those type of things, I'd like to get in first. So we'll come back at a
Question
later
for
date
you.
with those. Yep.
Can, when we do this, can we kind of parse it out into sections so that it's not such a long, broad, drawn out, and we can do it in sections?
Sure, I appreciate
So we
that,
can work
yeah.
our way through it a little more systematically. And the other question I had was, toward the front end of this, parsing it out, can we get the restaurant and cafe definitions and situation and distance requirements settled relatively quickly? Because we do have a possibility of an applicant coming in that would be I think, advantage to the town, and I'd hate to see them find somebody else and leave.
Did you have the understanding that the applicant is having trouble with our definition versus the state liquor definition?
The state has no distance requirement, and as I understand it, with our present regulation, cafes have a 1,500-foot separation. They would fall under the cafe requirement, and there's a second cafe less than that 1,500 feet. Even though the two cafes are distinctly different from each other, they both are cafes, so they wouldn't be able to operate within the location that they're considering. That being said, if we can move it towards the front of our stack rather than the rear of our stack and shorten their wait time, I'd love to see them come to Cromwell.
Sure, yeah, I appreciate your suggestion, and I'll bring that forward first
Thank
at
you.
your suggestion.
Thank you.
And we've already done a lot of the legwork here, so we'll just bring that back in a more focused
Right.
environment, so.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Minutes? Oh, any commissioners, approval of the December 16th minutes. Does anybody have any additions, corrections, or anything to it? I'd like to have a motion to
Let's
approve.
see, do we have enough? We got the right people here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're good.
Yeah. Anybody have any corrections? I'd like to have a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, commissioners' comments, anybody have any? Yes, go ahead.
Hi, so there hasn't been any activity at the River Cog because of the holidays, but I'm anticipating at the end of the month, probably have our first River Cog meeting. One of the items that was addressed previously that's of concern is that housing bill. And I think they're trying to put together a strategy. I'm sure they're working with our town as well.
Yep.
But there's some reports that come out of that we have to submit as a town. And it has to do with some numbers and how we view the housing in this town and how it applies to the new housing bill per se. So I'm not sure that we need a strategy right now. We need a strategy, but I think we need to have that laid out for us.
Yeah.
And so at some point, I think we need to get together, and there's some dates involved there too.
Right.
And we do have what I think a lot of us feel is a good number of pieces that are affordable housing. And in our new developments, we also insist, for the most part, that some affordable housing units are included as well to help that number. But I just wanted to put on the record that we should probably talk about what our plans are and how to address that and next steps.
And we, as planners in the whole state of Connecticut, are just now getting thrown into this, and it's still very not
muddy water.
refined. It's not, yeah, it's not very refined. There's a lot of questions from experienced planners, including Bruce and I and Jennifer Tranquillo went to the River Cog meeting, the kickoff for this housing bill, with the other planners in our regional group. And a lot of people still have questions, and I think there's some unresolved issues with the bill itself that may be addressed in this short-term legislative session here. I think it's through March or April. So I believe the River Cog is going to be kind of spearheading an effort to try and develop plans. They are looking to interview a consultant that would work with the towns in our cog. And I believe that we would opt in or opt out of that. There is a APA Connecticut meeting here in Cromwell, of all places, for the whole, state planning chapter this week. And so Bruce and I are going to that. And then we have a third one with CCM, which is Connecticut Conference of Municipalities. So I'm getting as much information as I can about this. It is still brand new, but I'll be on top of it, and I'll be your resource, moving forward. when we have dates and those type of things.
And you'll be just giving us updates as far as,
Yeah, there may actually be, to Mr. Demetriidis's point, some opt-in dates or something this year. Other things are gonna be spread out to, I think, extended to 27, maybe 28. But yeah, we'll be monitoring this and communicating with you guys about this as quickly as we can.
Right, thank you for that. I know that in the last discussions, it was in December, I think, with the River Cog, they were looking at a more holistic approach as well, see what each region comes up with, and then looking to pool some of those resources, if you want to call it, or ideas or strategies, to come up with a more unified regional plan for all the regions, as opposed to, I mean, there's gonna be some differences within the region, obviously. So I know that they were talking about that, but that's positive. And I would hope that we, as a commission, have an opportunity to maybe have a session of some sort, you know, that just kind of puts ideas on the table based on what you come up with, and have kind of like that roundtable kind of think tank thing, and come up with what we think are suggestions for our town that you may be able to follow up with as a group, and that may be even going to the town council to say, hey, this is what we're thinking of how we would like to handle it, right, our best foot forward. What are your thoughts? So we kind of have a unified front, you know, as a town.
Sure.
so are you looking for a meeting just for that?
It may be necessary to have
No.
that, or it could be part of one of our meetings that's on well, first we have to wait for.
Yeah, I think as the information comes to
Yeah.
us,
Okay.
you know, I'll be looking for those opportunities to get you involved or
No.
provide the information at a minimum. It seems that if we do opt in, that the regional cog will help us kind of drive the bus, so to speak, which would actually be nice. Yeah, but,
Okay.
yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Too
and-
soon, too soon.
Too
to
soon.
know.
Yeah,
But-
at some
but-
point, we'll have a presentation, you know, to
Sure.
get you the information, and
It's all muddy.
I would imagine you're gonna be involved in the housing plan,
Okay.
housing growth plan, and all of those things, so.
Sure. And I don't know, Madam Chair, that could be a public hearing that we hold on that information. It could be a special meeting that we hold.
Well, we will
Well,
hold a
whenever-
public
whenever-
hearing after we have our
right,
discussions.
when everything, yes, no, not, I understand, but yes. So
And
we would need to
maybe-
talk
oh,
about
sorry.
those things. No,
Excuse me, I didn't mean
I'm all
to
set.
No.
speak
You're good.
over you. I was just thinking maybe we could have a standing item on our agenda where I could just report back, you know, if there's any new updates and where
Absolutely.
things stand, so.
Right.
Yeah, or even a separate, you know,
Yes.
because it's
Well,
gonna
I
be
think that,
ongoing
yeah,
for a
and make
while.
it separate so that it's right there. It's not
Yeah.
like, whatever. Anything else before the commission? Motion to adjourn?
Sure, I'll make a motion to adjourn happily.
Hey, less than an hour.
Okay, that's
Thank you, everyone.
a good thing.